Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Recon Write Bookkeeping. Today we are going to learn how to enter a bill in the Xero accounting software. So there are two ways that you can open up the bill section. One is you can click on this plus sign over here and then click on bill. Another alternative method is click on purchases and bills. You can select bills from the drop down. When you select bills from the drop down, it will redirect you to this page. So over here on the right hand section, you have to click on new bill. So it will drop down and over here you have to click new bill. Right. So over here I have a sample bill from supplier 7-Eleven. Right. So if I go down and I see what was purchased, there is fuel and as well as bottled water and Cadbury chocolate. So now I want to enter these two, bottled water and Cadbury chocolate, into an account code called staff amenities. So when I go to my to my chart of accounts, I already know that staff amenities is not available in my current chart of accounts. So I want to enter a new one. So what I will do is I click on expenses, bring out only the expenses section. And if you have watched my previous video, you would know that we need to get a unique code for each and every new account that we are entering into the chart of accounts. So due to that reason, I am going to check my codes and see which number can be given for my new account. So over here we have 420 and then 425. So in between there are a couple of available codes that can be used. So I'm going to use the code 421. So here you have to click add account. Expense account type would be expense. Code 421, and if you just click anywhere, it will tell you that it is available to use. Your title for this account would be staff amenities. If you'd like, you can give a description or else you can keep it blank, and I'm just going to keep it as default tax settings as GST on and save this. Right, so now my account that I need to use for this bill is also being created. So I'm just going to refresh this page. If not, when I click on account, it's not going to pull out my staff amenities. Right. So the first important detail we need to give is the from. That means from whom is this bill being received. So if I open this up, I can see that right on the top, my supply name is given, which is 7-Eleven. So I'm just going to copy this. And 7-Eleven. So 7-Eleven has not been entered before in my Xero accounting software, which is why it has not picked the name up in the drop down. So I'm just gonna create a new contact. Date. So the date of my bill would be 12th of January 2025. So I'm gonna give the date here as 12th of January 2025. Due date. So we know that tax invoices from supermarkets, fuel suppliers, they usually do not give us a due date for payment. It's usually we need to pay then and there. So I know that my 7-Eleven invoice needs to be paid on the very same day that the fuel or whatever I had purchased from them was granted to me. So over here I'm going to click on there are two ways I can enter this. I can just enter this manually, or else I can enter plus and 0. This is entering plus and a numerical is a more easier way to enter your due date, because putting aside 7-Eleven, if you receive a tax invoice from a supplier that requires payment in 7 days, or requires payment in 14 days, or requires payment in a month's time, right? So instead of calculating the dates from your invoice date, you can just give your plus sign and enter the number. So assuming 7-Eleven requires me to pay 7 days after the due date, after the invoice date, then I can enter the plus sign and give 7, and Xero would automatically calculate the due date based on my invoice date. So that is a little tip for you all on how to enter the due date easily when you get supplier invoices that has a due date. So since 7-Eleven does usually not have a due date, I'm going to keep it as 0. Right. Next up is our reference number, which is a unique number for each and every bill that is issued from your supplier. So I'm going to just copy that, paste it there. Right. Now coming into what was purchased from 7-Eleven, we have fuel and bottled water and Cadbury chocolate. So we know that fuel is usually GST on expenses, and when it comes to shop items, bottled water is usually GST free, and Cadbury chocolate has GST on it, right? So based on this knowledge that we have, we are going to try and enter this bill. So now if I see here, looking down, there is a subtotal of 62.59. Tax has been added and a total of 68.55. So looking at this, I understand that these amounts, 57.32, $3, and $2.27 are all tax exclusive, which means they do not have tax in them. After the subtotal is shown over here, tax has been calculated and then only the total is given. So this is an important piece of information because over here in your bill, you now have to set the amounts are tax exclusive, right? This is important for you to do. If not, your calculations will not be correct, right? Now let's enter what was purchased. So over here we have fuel. So I'm going to enter fuel here, give the quantity as 1. Unit price would be the total $57.32. $57.32, and my account would be, let's say, motor vehicle expenses and GST on. Next up, what I purchased is bottled water. So I am going to just give it as water and 1. Amount would be $3. And here I'm just going to give it as staff amenities, GST free expenses, right? And after that they have also purchased chocolate, so here, and 1, the amount is $2.27, to 27, and staff amenities, this would be GST on expenses, right? So now we have given GST on. Now what we have to go down and check that this GST figure 5.96 matches the amount shown in the invoice, which is correct, right? And now check that the total matches $68.55. $68.55, that is also correct, and subtotal 62.59 is also correct. So now by looking at these numbers and comparing it with our tax invoice, we can now see that the amounts that we have entered are correct, the GST amount is correct. So you can just go over this once more, ensure that your supplier name is correct, dates are correct, account codings are correct, because these are usually the areas where uh, people make mistakes. They usually enter incorrect accounting codes, and ensure that you calculated your GST correctly. And then what you need to do is you need to click on approve. Once you click on approve, this bill will now be shown in your awaiting payment section. Why awaiting payments? Because this has not yet been closed off in the system. So this is how we enter a bill in Xero. I hope this was informational to you. Please like, please subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.